Hi everyone. I got to attend the Messianic service that's offered at Gateway on the first Friday of every month. And I wasn't able to talk to one of the pastors or staff members, but I was able to talk to one of the volunteers, and she's been volunteering for a while. So she was pretty helpful. And so she gave me a little bit of like history, like how it got started. And so the first year of Gateway back in 2000, Robert has always had a heart and desire to give the first tithes and givings to like a Jewish ministry or outreach or something like that. It's always been on his heart. He calls it Jew First, and it's just honoring God and his chosen people. And through that, they've seen so many blessings. And as the years went on, they brought in a Messianic service because they realized like they need to reach more of God's people through the Messianic service. And so it's been growing a lot. It started at NRH, but I outgrew that building quickly, and so now it's held at the South Lake campus. So they have room to grow, and they have room for everyone to sit down. And so that's really cool to see that it's just kind of taking off and it's just growing, and God's just blessing it, and He has His hand on it. And so then I was asking her, kind of like the leadership, and so she didn't know much about the leadership part, but she just told me like how she got involved because she's a Messianic Jew, and she has a heart for serving God and serving His people, and this was such a great opportunity for her to get involved with her culture of like how she was raised in a Jewish family, and she gets to serve at her church in a Messianic way. And so that was really neat. She's a really cool character. And so another question I asked was, how important are good leaders to the overall culture of the church? And obviously it's very important. And she was saying that, God appointed everyone that is currently on the staff that in the Messianic department at Gateway. And she said that they've just made the whole service just grow, and they're just so spirit-led and just great leaders to look up to, and they just pour into the congregation as a whole. And so one of the last questions I asked was, what role do they believe the church should play in the contemporary culture? And the heart behind the Messianic service, she was saying, was to reach the Jewish people, because there's so many Jews that don't believe Jesus is the Lord. And so the whole Messianic thing is believing Jesus is Lord, but still honoring your Jewish heritage and traditions and everything. And so their ultimate goal is to reach other Jews out there and see them come to Christ. And so it was a really neat experience, way different from any Gateway service I've ever attended. But it was cool to see, in the very church that I attend on the weekends, in that very room, it's just a whole new atmosphere. It's just a different feel, because they have the Hebrew mixed in there and different prayers and traditions, and I don't know, it's just really cool because I don't know much about the Jewish culture, and so I was glad I was able to be a part of it, and so it was an overall great experience.